I am here at the Antique Bowie Knife Association meeting in Tennessee, and I'm here with Alan Weinstein. Oh, there he is. Alan, how about giving us a quick tour of what you brought for display?
Well, the beginning starts with the early 1840s, late 1830s, with more elegant, high-quality knives. Here made in Newark, New Jersey, and two knives made in Philadelphia. Interestingly, these could have been called Crockett knives because Shively, who made that, sold a knife to Davy Crockett and then advertised as selling Crockett knives. The name didn't take. They became Bowie knives. Then we move over to a time and period where we were headed to the gold rush, and we have an Ames rifleman's knife, which was issued to the U.S. military, but then clearly used out in the field with a sheath made of old chaps. It's almost a machete, so it needed a big sheath. And that type was what utilitarian knives of the era. This particular knife, we can date it by the fact that it's got an address where the factory burned down in about 1852, and it says California, which didn't mean anything until 1848. So the knife is quite dateable, meant to be used, but by a high-quality instrument maker, surgical instrument maker. Then we jump over to the Grand Civil War, where people making knives purely for the soldiers. Buck Brothers made tools and equipment, and they said, well, soldiers need knives, we're going to make knives. We have a Bowie knife, and below we also have a dirk that they made. Civil War ended, they stopped making knives, went back to just chisels and tools. The Silas Walker, although looking primitive, was made in Vermont for a group of local military people, and very few survived, most of them not marked. Again, one guy made about 125 or 135 and never made another knife. In the middle we have a little Weinstein Brothers, made in Boston, very famous company. Obviously a utility knife just to carry, not as a weapon, a good tool to carry with you. The big long Lamson and Goodenow, we can date it pretty much to the late 1840s, early 1850s. It was clearly made for a man of substantial size. Very large handle, very large blade. Again, a utility knife with the original sheath. And in the center, we have also made by Roby, who was a sword maker. Very distinctive knife. They made a good number of them, but only from 1861 to 1865. And then they went back to just making swords. The top knife here is by Will and Fink, San Francisco. Anywhere from 1870s to about 1900, this pattern was highly popular. And immediately, if you see one, it's clearly a Will and Fink or a Michael Price. And then finally, there's a Michael Price defensive dirk, walrus ivory handles, and a distinctive Michael Price metal sheath, also from probably 1860s to about 1889.
Great display. As you can see, he won an award for it. Great job there. Alan, thank you very much.
My pleasure. It's all fun.